una nueva vida. Olvidarte de todo lo que conoces y de quién has sido, y a los 40 años ir y luchar por un sueño. Esta es la historia que viene a contarnos hoy James Burbage, actor que va a estar muy próximamente con Michael Green en la nueva película Clica. Hello James, how are you? Good to see you.
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Absolutely fine. Thank you so much for being here and to be so open and talk about your story. So, as just say to our audience, you just, after a divorce and after a life who was completed, you decided to go after your dream and became an actor in Los Angeles, in Hollywood. Can you tell us more about this experience?
It was my first dream. I started when I was like 14. I did some family theater. I was a break dancer, so I used to perform and I always enjoyed it. But I got sidelined. I got married early in my 20s, had a family, and my personal dream got sidelined for a bit. And I got into finance, but after a 20-year marriage and a lot of success in financial services, I wasn't fulfilled, and I still had this itch to pursue, being an actor. At that point, I thought maybe I had aged out, so I was kind of pursuing film finance. But then the universe aligned and it presented the opportunity, and I became a working actor. And it's just this little itch that I had, this gut instinct that this just told me that this is what I was supposed to do. And I knew it'd be starting from scratch, middle aged, from the bottom, in an industry that I literally knew zero about. But if I felt if I applied the same work ethic and get after it that I had in financial services, that I would be successful. I always told that being an actor was about dealing with rejection. And I started out as a cold caller, so I used to dial the phone 300, 400, 500 dials a day, and I was used to hearing no. And I said, if that's the biggest obstacle is hearing no all the time, then I think I can do this. And that's kind of how it started.
That's an amazing story, but something that our audience are just discovering here today with you is the fact that you were a millionaire when you were 38, and then you just lost everything and decide to, as you just say it, start from bottom, start from nothing, from scratches. Can you tell us more about the emotional experience that you have to go through to overcome this and then decide to fight for your dream, who was to become an actor in Hollywood?
Yeah, I call it the personal pursuit of happiness. I had a lot of cash and prizes and zeros next to my name, but I was really unfulfilled. I wasn't happy. I just felt like kind of like not feng shui about my life. I wasn't where I was supposed to be doing what I was supposed to be doing. And, I think I manifested it away because I felt that it wasn't for me. So the universe did that. It created some new laws here in the United States that changed the industry that I was in. I was doing about 80% of the business in the United States for a certain derivative product, and then Dodd-Frank Wall Street reform came down the pike, and the entire industry went away. So I went from being a self-made millionaire under 40 to having to start again saying hello, my name is, as a salesman, back at the very bottom. And it was a perfect storm. I lost everything. The stress, it destroyed my marriage. It almost destroyed me at times emotionally. And but I had this letter from my father. My father was very stoic, didn't say much, but he wrote me a letter one time, and it stated that today is the first day of the rest of your life. It matters not where you've been, but where you end up. And only you're in charge. The buck stops with you. So if you want to make it happen, you can happen, or you can dwell on the past and feel sorry for yourself, or you can pick yourself up and you can dig and you can scramble and you can put Humpty Dumpty back together again after a big fall and pursue something that will fulfill you and make you happy. And even if it's not about money, for me, it was about the win. About even if I had to walk away from having lots of cash and prizes and lots of money to pursue something that I was going to be more fulfilled with in life that made me feel happy, I was willing to do that. The great thing is I think when you do what you love, money comes as a byproduct. When you're chasing money just to chase money, it's just a chase that you never really catch and you're never really fulfilled. So it's taken a lot. There's times where I've had people make fun of me. Oh, you're off there in La La Land. Why don't you come back and do this? everybody wants you to fall into a box, you know, their expectations of what you should be doing with your talents and your life. But I just think it's really important that you have your one and only life and you stay true to you. And that's what I've tried to do. Fortunately, some of my skill sets from the past are kind of unifying with my current industry and profession, where I've got the financial services and fundraising capabilities from, you know, being a financial services broker, and now I'm getting a chance to apply them towards film financing and raising money for feature films and streaming television.
Wow, what a story. But I want to highlight something here because you say something that for me is very meaningful. You say about the power of manifestation and how do you manifest this new life that you get now at your as middle age. And I mean, for me, middle age is a new start, as your father says, the first day of the rest of your life, because a lot of psychologists around the world say that in the first 40 years of our life, we are just learning and we really became ourselves and we really are the best and the true version of ourselves from 40. So about manifestation, how about the fact that maybe your life choices and your lifestyle are the one who get you your manifestation? Because I can see that you have a very healthy life. You wake up very early. You don't really go around to the television. You are more like a reading book guys, and you always over a new project every single day. Do you think this helped you to get the manifestation that you were really waiting for?
Absolutely. You know, and there's a saying that I use, do more, be more. You know, if you want to be more, then you're going to have to do more than most. And I like to keep busy. I've got a lot of energy. And there was a time where I felt I slipped into depression because I was used to having such an active mind in financial services. And I was always a really busy guy growing up. And when I wasn't, and I lost everything and lost my family, I really went internal for a while. And not having all these things to do and so many people pulling me in so many different directions, that I went into a spiral. And it was when my father passed away, and I had a sister who was also passing away around the same time from breast cancer. And she goes, James, why did you ever go into finance? You're such a creative, you're such an artist. Why would you do that? And I was like, I had a family, I had to keep the lights on, you know, so that's something that I did. But then when my father passed about 4 years ago, I said, here's my opportunity to reinvent myself. You know, this is it. I'm not getting any younger. I'm almost 50 at that point. And now's the time. If not, I'm going to wonder the rest of my life, woulda, shoulda, coulda. You know, maybe it could have happened, but, you know, my ship sailed and I never pursued it. So I started to tell myself, I'm that guy. I'm him. You know, manifestation every day. I wrote down on a whiteboard, and I looked at it every day. I wrote a gratitude list, what I was grateful for, the things that hadn't happened yet. And I'm a manifesting generator, and I hear people, you know, speakers like Les Brown, a great motivational speaker, and Les says that, you know, to see it, you got to believe it, and most people got it backwards. They're like, I got to, you know, I got to, I won't believe it until I see it. But you got to see it in your mind's eye and really believe it, and then you will see it in life. It's funny because sometimes I'll find little scratch pads where I've written down my actionables or things are going to happen, or I have a whiteboard upstairs right now. And all the things that are happening right now in my life are things that I wrote on my whiteboard almost a year and a half ago. And I never erased it, and I kind of put it up and I just looked at it when I was passing by. And that's what I realized. It is the energy that we put out there. It's the frequency. And when things are going really well for me, I feel like I'm on a really high frequency. I'm tuned in, and because my mind is taking me where I want to go. Because if you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you? It starts with you. And then with you believing in yourself and loving yourself, you put out, I think, that energy into the frequency in the world that reciprocates that. And it loves that, accepts it, and wants to see you do well. The energy, the universe has your back, I think, when you lead with that type of energy.
Oh, I love what you're saying, because basically I'm all about that. And you're so right. You share a lot in your Instagram and with your followers about the fact that how important it is to have like healthy and decide every day to be yourself, to true yourself, and to believe in you and in your dreams. And that's why you go to the gym. And about that, I have a question, because I believe that I need 3 wins every single day for me to get to be in touch and in centered with myself. And the 3 wins for me are the physical wins, so basically some kind of workout, mental one, or learning one when I grow, and that is to read in a book. And another one is a spiritual one, and that's why I love, especially for manifestation, everything about meditation. Or if people don't believe in the universe, I also encourage them to pray, because when you are praying or when you are during a meditation, basically what's happened is you get in touch with yourself inside you. And for the first time in your life, you don't see anything around you. You don't see what society wants to put on you. You only feel and see what are you living in that precise moment. Do you think this is also true for you?
Yeah, and it brings up a thought of one of my favorite quotes, to a quiet mind, the whole world surrenders. And in those quiet moments in meditation, you get the answers that you're looking for. When you get quiet, the universe gives them to you. And I start my day the same way. Movement is key. I struggled growing up. I came from a dysfunctional family. I don't know if it was chemical or environment, but I struggled with anxiety. I think I had some post-traumatic issues from growing up, and some depression. And it wasn't until I found meditation first, and I started with like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Some apps got up to like 20 minutes a day, and then I found breath work. Breath work has been absolutely life changing for me, and it's the very first thing that I do when I get out of bed. I oxygenate my mind before I do a gratitude list and before I meditate. It's usually that trio. I do those 3 things before I go to the gym, and then I do some sort of movement for at least an hour, hour and a half, and I'll do everything from weight training, running, yoga. I'm a big fan of yoga, especially as I'm aging, trying to take a little lighter on my joints and my body, and it's very helpful for my mind. And then journaling, writing my emotions. If I'm having a negative emotions, just being aware of them and what I'm thinking and putting it down on paper. Sometimes it helps me identify actionables that need to be done to get rid of those issues that I'm worrying about, or if they're just feelings aren't facts issues, that I'm just feeling this way, but they're not truly facts. And if I put it pen to pad, I can identify, what it is that I'm dealing with. Because I think human nature, we all think we're special little snowflakes and we're so different, but we're so similar. We all feel the same way. We have these feelings of inadequacy at times, fear, anxiety, and they say success leaves a popcorn trail. Follow the clues. And I think there's been a lot of people that have used meditation, breath work, journaling, gratitude, physical fitness instead of antidepressants. It have been the solution for a lot of people. And I'm all about stuff that's backed by science as well. And I've seen the benefits of meditation and breath work from scientists, the studies that they've done on both.
I like that idea, and I like because it is so true. And I want to highlight 2 things here, but I want to take it step by step. So the second thing that you say that for me was very important and really hit me is the fact that for a long time, for your first 4 years in your life, 38, before you became a millionaire, you were always thinking about what society, what everyone else was expecting from you. From the fact that you were a family guy, the fact that you have a wife and you have kids and you have to take care of them, and they never really think or thought about what you really wanted and what you really wanted to become. Do you think that put like an extra weight on your shoulders that you have to take off at some point?
Absolutely. I think we get 2 doors: the life of default and the life of choice. The one that we choose, and then there's the one that life kind of puts you in, and you make decisions, and some of them are impulsive, and sometimes it can turn out to be a lifetime, and then sometimes it can run its course. and you can realize and have the awareness that, I've had a good chapter or good chapters in my life, but this isn't it. This isn't the chapter where I find fulfillment and happiness. And some people live their whole life and they never find happiness because they're so afraid of the fear of failure that they're paralyzed and they never really try. So they just think about it all the time. So, I feel whatever it is, no matter what age you are, even if you're 80 years old and there's something you haven't done, you're not your age, you're your energy, and you're what you want to accomplish. And, the peanut gallery is always going to have an opinion. They're always going to be in the stands watching you perform, eating popcorn, eating peanuts, making comments because they didn't have the courage, to stick their head out or stick their butt out, to get chopped or get spanked, whatever the case may be. And you got to have that willingness to get laughed at. I had a mentor one time, and he said, if you're not doing things, this was in sales at the time. We were selling international currencies, currency exchange in a sales room. And he said, if the whole room isn't laughing at you, then you're not trying hard enough. You got to get kind of callous to the world because people want to see you do well. This is what I found. But most don't want to see you do better than them. That's it. So you can't live your life for other people. You live your life for yourself, and that means you might get laughed at times, or
You
people
know what they
talk
say,
about
you
you.
have to do something right, so then you get hated. In the hating comes
Yeah,
because you are doing something different. You are doing something that other people cannot do, so the jealousy gets involved. But let's talk about the second thing that you were talking about before that really hit me, and it's the fact that we all want to be in gratitude and feel happy because we are looking for happiness in life, but we always expect to have everything to be happy and not to live that feeling and left your brain. And we all know that our subconscious is the one who decides for us, not even us. We don't really take the decisions in your life. It's all the subconscious, and is 95% of decisions that we make every single day are about that. So maybe when people in the new eras talk about the fact that you need to feel that you already have what you are manifesting and feeling sit in that energy, that you get the manifestation in front, is because maybe our brain is, because it's subconscious, is already looking when you feel it how to get it. So it's more not about manifestation or about the energy. Is also something that we can prove scientifically, prove it through psychologists.
yeah. It's happiness is an inside job. And you hear that all the time. And I chased so many things: beautiful women, cars, money, uh, shiny things, whatever it was. Yeah, I chased those things, thinking that when I arrived, I would have this feeling of happiness and fulfillment. Each time, it was just a feeling of, now what? What do we chase next? Then after, like a dog chasing enough cars over the years, and maybe catching a few, you realize that there's got to be more to this. And that's when I was about 40 years old, and I did have a certain level of success that I felt was pretty good from a guy that came from where I came from. I just was still so unfulfilled, and I just couldn't put a finger on why. And then it's because I was kind of dancing everybody else's dance, and I realized I was living my dad's dream. My dad wanted to be the big time salesman. He used to tell me that I was the artsy flaky type. Kind of hurt me a little bit. Flaky type, artsy, not so bad, but so it's messages and programming that we get growing up in our childhood and our youth, and all these people, and then we find ourselves chasing after these different things. And if I do this career, I become an attorney, my parents will be happy. If I do this, my wife will be happy. If I do this, that my girlfriend, my boyfriend, whatever the case, they'll be happy, and then they'll love me, and then that'll make me happy. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we have to learn, is that no one's going to love us until we truly learn how to love ourselves. That's the biggest step, when it comes to like healing, like, all of this negative thinking or things that are blockages that keep us from being successful. My dad said the only thing that's stopping you in this world, boy, is you. You got to learn to get out of your own way. That's something that he used to say to me. And no stinking thinking. You know, it's a 6-inch business. Just every industry, it's all between your ears, what you're thinking. And these little messages, you know, he wasn't around a lot. He was pretty stoic, but the things he said, they were like gems. And I listened. And, you know, the power, you know, I was really, I think, kind of broken and half empty when I first got into the brokerage business. And I had a mentor, and he said, you know, like the military, I'm going to tear your thinking down all the way down, strip you down, and then we're going to build you back up. And instead of being half empty, you're going to become half full. And I think that's around the time, I think it was like 2002, 2003, I found The Secret, the book on manifestation. And I created my first vision board. And I put everything that I wanted in my life on that board. And I used to, you know, at the time I had a fake Rolex, you know, and then, but the manifestation of one day that'll be real, the car that was on the board, the house that was on the board, I manifested all of those things, and then I got them, but I still wasn't happy. And then that's when I realized that, you know, I had to deal with the inside stuff, that the backpack, I had unpacked the backpack that I was carrying around, and that I was only going to find happiness on the inside. And that's been my pursuit, you know, ever since then. And it seems like both worlds are falling into line now by being true to myself. I had to take a step back for 5 to 6 years, and I had a lot of people make comments and say, why aren't you doing this, and why aren't you doing that, and you were so good at this, and you could be making money. And but they don't understand, it's just money didn't buy happiness. You know, it's a good down payment, you know, but it does not buy happiness, speaking from experience.
Myself on what did you say? The fact that you are always trying to follow your parents' dreams for you, because it's the only thing that you learn when you're younger, right? When you're a kid. So you get to be brightening your brain about the fact that you need this to be happy and you need that. And it's finally at the end of the day, you just realize that it's not your dream, that your dreams are different. And that is something that I have myself to struggle with, the fact that I have to learn to accept myself as I am and love myself enough to say, hey, that is your dream, that is not mine. And it's a very difficult exercise because you feel like you are disappointing people. But at the same time, I believe what you say, you have to receive a lot of no to maybe get the yes that you are really waiting for since ever, basically.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And the fact that the universe will keep throwing blocks in your way in these other areas, it'll keep, you know, pulling the rug underneath you, so to speak, or just certain things, issues that keep popping up. And if you're aware, you see these as signs that, like, this is the universe telling me I got to stay true to myself. This is what I'm truly supposed to be doing. And I keep trying to get off course. And if you listen, it'll get you back on course. But you got to be aware, because it's easy, you know. I don't like to use the word motivation. I like to use the word discipline, because I think if you're disciplined about pursuing what you want and you don't think and you just do, because it's human nature, fight or flight, we want to run from everything that's tough and uncomfortable. It's just the way our hardwiring and our genes. If it's scary, if it's uncomfortable, if we think it's going to create uncomfort or pain of some sort, we want to shut down. But the secret is not getting emotionally attached to the situation and just doing the work, and then let the outcome be the outcome. And then the universe is going to deliver what was supposed to be delivered anyway. Worrying is, you know, interest on a debt you'll never pay back. So it's just a waste of energy. So will I get this pot? Will I get the job? Will I get the part? You know, whatever the case may be. Well, things will work out. You know, will my clothing line launch? Well, it's going to do what it's going to do. If you do the work, there's no way that things won't work out. What happens is most people talk themselves out of doing the work because they spend so much time in their head thinking about things that they never take action. And, you know, it's another like great line from Les Brown. He goes, it's the start that stops the most. You know, everybody's talking about what they're going to do tomorrow. Well, tomorrow I'm going to get started. You know, tomorrow I'm going to get this business going. Tomorrow I'm going to really, you know, get on my diet. And they say the road of tomorrow leads to the town of nowhere, you know. So start now with whatever you have. Start today. Start small. Start poor. Just start. That's my best advice I can give.
Thank you so much for saying that, because it's so important about the fact that Exactly. I believe that you really accept yourself and you love yourself enough so you can be now strong enough to follow your dreams and to go and do the work, because most people, as you say, they don't really do the work. They are just trying to find excuses and complain about their life, and they are living in the future as well and not living in the present, and say to yourself, okay, I need to be have discipline, so if I want this dream, and that it takes a lot of courage. So bravo, and thank you for sharing this with us, because it's really, really important. So James, now that you are now in the industry, you are an actor, you're gonna be soon in a movie, right? Tell us a little bit more about it.
Yes, yeah. I had the pleasure of my role as Deputy Sheriff Baker from Los Angeles Police Department in a film called Clica, Clika, which means gang. And I'm in the film with Eric Roberts, Peter Green, some very well-known actors. Peter was the villain in The Mask. Training Day. If you look them up on either of those actors on IMDb, they've had very long, successful careers. So just getting to share the big screen with them was a huge honor. And having it happen pretty quickly, I started out with commercial work. I played a role in a horror miniseries on the History Channel for Eli Roth. I did a worldwide commercial for Microtouch head shaving. Got on General Hospital. Been full-time employee for Disney on General Hospital. Done like 6 episodes this year. Just another soap opera that was international as well. So things started happening quick. The very first thing that I did was I got cast as Jack Krauser in Resident Evil 4. And they don't tell you much. It just says video game shoot because they want to keep things hush-hush. So I showed up, they put a blonde wig on me, shaved my beard, and I had to go through 2 days of extensive knife fight training for film with Travis Wong out in the Valley here in Los Angeles to prepare. So that was my first role. I had to show up on set after learning how to knife fight, playing the role of an iconic video game figure, Jack Krauser from Resident Evil 4. So I kind of came out of the gates with a bang, and it's been fun. And I think the most interesting part of it all was I had decided that I wanted to do this. I had done some men's classic physique bodybuilding competitions. I had gotten in really the best shape of my life after my father passed. And I just needed something to kind of help me grieve the process. And I started telling my friends, you know what, I think I'm going to make a real run at being a working actor. I think my experience, in financial services and cold calling and managing rooms and hearing no a lot, all throughout my adult life, I think it's prepared me, and I believe I can do this. And every single person I said it to said, you know what, James, knowing you, I think so. So that kind of gave me the confidence. And then ironically enough, I work out every morning in Gold's Gym in Venice Beach. Arnold Schwarzenegger, all kinds of legends come through there daily, every single day. I see lots of star power athletes, politicians, you name it. We all go to the same place in the morning to start our day. And this gentleman approached me on the treadmill and he said, "Hey, James, I know your background's financial services," he said, "but I think you got a great look. And have you ever thought about entertainment and becoming an actor? I'm a scout for Howie Mandel's wife, Terry Mandel, Abstract Talent Agency. And I think she'd be really interested in getting you cast in some productions." And that's how it began. I put my energy out to the universe, manifested that I wanted to become a full-time working actor. And then someone approached me in Gold's Gym and scouted me. I put the frequency out, I got it back, and here we are talking about it. It's fun.
I'm very happy for you, and team, we all very happy for you, and bravo, because you follow your dreams and you are strong enough to be and become the best version of yourself. We sadly have to finish here because we are running out of time, but thank you so much for sharing your story with us, James, because I think you inspire a lot of people tonight with your story and the fact that it's never too late to fight for your dreams, and every single day, if you are in gratitude, it's a new opportunity to go and to have the discipline and just go and get your dreams. So thank you so much. I'm going to say you goodbye from now, and we will see you soon here in RTD.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been my pleasure. Always great talking to you. Love your energy. Have a great day. Night.
Goodbye. Thank you. Y estuvo con nosotros esta noche James Burbage, quien vino a contarnos justamente su historia tan peculiar, justamente de ser uno de los millonarios de menos de 40 años en Estados Unidos a divorciarse y dejar absolutamente todo detrás para para hacerse actor y para seguir el sueño de su vida, que siempre fue justamente la actuación en Hollywood, y ser ahora un artista justamente que es pagado por el arte. Esto fue Encuentra tu camino con Dana. Soy Dana BUNEL y estamos en RTD Internacional. Por favor, suscríbete a nuestras redes sociales y síguenos en YouTube, Facebook e Instagram para nunca perderte ningún episodio de este tu programa, Encuentra tu camino. Y nos vemos la próxima semana. Adiós.
Hola, buenos días. Soy Carlitos Belvid. Te espero en mi tienda en Belvid. Ubicada en París 10, Metro Belleville, 135, Rue des Faubourgs du Temple. Gracias.
Hola, soy Francinet García y te estoy invitando a nuestro estudio de belleza. Estamos ubicados en el centro de Chatillon. Aquí podrás encontrar diferentes tratamientos en cuidado facial, corporal, micropigmentación de cejas y de labios. Puedes contactarnos a través del 0611-727432. 0611-727432. Recuerda que aquí en Francinet García Brows Studio, tu belleza es nuestra prioridad.